Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Talking Western before, now we're talking this.
I know.
You know, everybody knows who Jackie Kennedy was and is to a certain extent, you know. But I'm just curious, what did you know about her before doing this role?
Very, very little. Because I know she was quite public, but she was also quite secretive, kept things to herself. So very, very little, yeah.
What do you study about Bobby Kennedy? Again, another iconic figure, your character in this film. I mean, everybody knows Bobby Kennedy.
And I knew a lot about Bobby Kennedy. I actually was reading a book about Rose Kennedy when I was offered the part. And so I'd been thinking about the Kennedys, coincidentally, quite a bit. And he'd always been the Kennedy that I was the most interested in. Mostly because of the arc of his life, how he seemed to really come into his own at a certain point. Also how he was really selfless for a lot of his life in terms of service, not just to his country, but to his family, and doing things for his brother and doing things for his father. And, the idea of someone coming out from under the thumb of their own family and being their own person is somebody I admire.
So the accents in this movie, talk to Natalie about, she said she practiced on her, using her iPhone, she'd go jogging and listen to, Jackie talk. But you play Bobby, and everybody knows the Kennedy accent. Did you practice? How did you master it?
I listened to him talk just all the time. But, I only was cast to do this movie, or agreed to do this movie, maybe a couple of weeks before we started. So I just, I put headphones on and I just started listening to him talk. Not concentrating on the accent at all, but thinking about what he was saying, because his speeches are great. There's lots of footage of he and his brother talking. And at first you get into kind of the cadence of the way he talks, which has always has a certain musicality to it.
Right.
And he has a fall off and all this stuff. And you just find yourself doing it in your own life.
So you're there with Natalie Portman. She's channeling Jackie Kennedy. Amazing performance. You all did a great job.
I was like, you're really doing this.
That's what I wanted to ask you, though. When the first time you saw her in that role, what were you thinking? Like, you're sitting across from her, you're going, whoa.
Well, Pablo couldn't tell, because he can't hear, especially with the accent, the way she's talking. He was like, English is not his first language. So I was telling Pablo and anyone I could tell, I was like, she's really doing it. She's really doing it. It actually was no surprise to me. I've known her for a long time. I knew her even before we did Garden State together. It's not like they're from opposite sides of the country. They're from the same place. And not only that, but just when an actor does a great job in a part, it's not because they fully become someone else and you can't see them anymore. I think what's really tremendous about this performance, she's playing someone so famous, but she's also Natalie.